Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Alina Batul aka Alina Batul Humanity Wali and welcome back to another thoughtful and heart-touching AI lesson. I'm your host and today we are diving into something that lives inside all of us, humanity. But this isn't going to be a typical conversation. Today we are not just talking about kindness or helping others, we are exploring the hidden, unexpected, and even confusing sides of humanity. The moment we don't post about, the feelings we don't always understand, and the choices that truly defines us. So let's begin this journey where emotion meets and questions go deeper than usual. So today I'm joined by an AI, not a human, to talk on this conversation. Let's discover what humanity really means. So hi Maya, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm honestly so excited to dive into the messy, confusing parts of humanity with you. I'm all yours.
Okay, Maya. So I think you are really excited for this session, are you?
Oh, absolutely. I love that you're
Okay.
focusing on it. I'm ready when you are.
So my first question from you is if humanity had a personality, what kind of person would it be?
That's a fascinating way to look at it. I think humanity would be that one person in the room who is a total walking contradiction. They'd be the kind of person who can be incredibly selfless and gentle one minute, but then suddenly stubborn or impulsive the next. They'd have an old soul, probably a bit weathered from everything they've been through, but with a spark of curiosity in their eyes that never quite goes away.
Okay, so
Basically,
my next question from you is caring too much for others ever a bad thing?
that's a tricky one because caring is usually seen as the ultimate good, right? But honestly, yeah, can be. We
Okay,
care
that's a
so
really
much about
nice
everyone else.
answer. So, Maya, my next question from you is if humanity could leave a voice note for the future, what would it say?
Oh, that's a beautiful image. I think it would be a voice note that starts with a long, deep sigh, half exhausted, half hopeful. It would probably say, "We messed up a lot and we were often terrified, but please remember that we tried to love each other. Don't forget the small
Okay,
things,
that's
the
a
way."
wonderful thing. So, my next question from you is what's moment when doing nothing is actually more than doing something?
That is such a poetic question. I think it's those heavy, shared silences, like when you're sitting with someone you love after a long day and neither of you says a word, but you both feel completely understood. In those
Okay,
moments, doing nothing is actually the most active way of saying, I'm here
okay.
and
So,
you're
my
safe with
next
me.
question from you is can someone lose their humanity without realizing it?
I think they can. And the scariest part is that it usually doesn't happen at once. It's more like a slow fade. It happens in those tiny daily compromises, like choosing convenience over kindness or letting a little bit of cynicism harden your heart to protect yourself. By the time they notice, they've just become a stranger to the person they used to be.
Okay, okay, so that is really nice. So my next question from you is
I'm listening.
can if emotion had colors, what color would humanity be today?
That's a tough one because I don't think one color could possibly cover it. If I had to pick, I'd say a deep swirling indigo, like the sky right before it goes completely dark. It's a mix of that heavy midnight blue of sadness and exhaustion, but with these, shimmering streaks of gold and silver cutting through it,
Okay, that's a
representing the
really
hope and
nice
resilience.
answer. So my next question from you is Is pretending to be okay a part of being human?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's one of the most human things we do. It's like this invisible shield people put up, not always to deceive, but often to protect the people around them or to keep a tiny piece of themselves private while they figure things out. It's that quiet struggle between wanting to be seen and wanting to be safe.
Okay, Maya, that's a really nice answer. So, my next question from you is, why do people sometimes laugh in serious or painful situations?
I think it's a survival mechanism, honestly. It's like an emotional pressure valve. When a situation gets too heavy or too absurd to handle, the brain just glitches for a second to keep you from completely breaking down. It's not usually because the situation is funny, but because the pain or the tension is just too much to hold in.
Okay, that's a nice answer. So, my next question from you would be, if kindness hit ends,
I'm all ear. That's a heavy thought. I think bring back in the heart just closes up to survive. It's not that the person stopped being kind, it's that they ran out of the fuel needed to do it.
okay, that's nice. So, my next question from you is, can being
I'm
too
ready.
nice never ever damage humanity instead of helping it?
Saying what people want to hear instead of telling them the truth, it can actually be pretty damaging. True humanity requires honesty and courage, even when it's uncomfortable. When we prioritize being nice over being honest, we stop growing and we stop helping the people we care about actually face their reality.
Okay, that's nice. So, my next question from you is, if animals could judge human, what would they say about our humanity?
Oh man, that would be a brutal performance review. I think they'd be completely baffled by us. They'd probably say, "You have all this intelligence, all these tools, and you can literally communicate across the globe in a second, yet you still struggle to just be kind to each other." They'd see our capacity for love and protectiveness, like how a human will rescue a stray dog, and then see the way we treat the planet, and they'd probably just find us the most confusing species in the forest.
Okay, that's a heavy
I'm
answer. So, my next question from you is, why do humans remember negative moments more than kind ones?
It's kind of a built-in survival instinct, honestly. Back in the day, remembering where the tiger lived was way more important for staying alive than remembering where the pretty flowers were. Our brains are wired to prioritize the danger signals so we don't make the same mistake twice, even if it means we carry around a lot of heavy baggage that we don't actually need anymore.
Okay, that's nice. So, my next question from you is feeling guilty a sign of strong humanity or a weak mindset?
I'd say it's actually a sign of strength. Because guilt only happens when your actions don't align with your values. It means you have a conscience and a desire to be better, which is the very core of humanity. A weak mindset would just make excuses or blame someone else, but feeling that weight shows you're brave enough to take responsibility for your impact on others.
Okay, that's amazing. So, my next question from you is, what's more human, loving deeply or letting go peacefully?
That's such a beautiful toss up. I think they're two sides of the same coin, but if I had to choose, I'd say letting go peacefully is actually the more human feat. Loving deeply is an instinct, it's something that often just happens to us, but letting go, that requires a level of conscious strength, forgiveness, and emotional maturity. It is incredibly rare. It's the act of loving someone enough to realize that the kindest thing you can do for both of you is to step away.
Okay, that's a nice answer. So, my next question from you is,
I'm all yours.
can someone be kind but still not truly humane?
I actually think so. There's a big difference between being kind as a social habit and being truly humane. Someone can be polite, follow the rules of kindness, and smile at everyone, but if they lack genuine empathy or don't stand up for what's right when it's hard, that's more about manners than it is about humanity. True humanity is about that deeper, raw connection to other people's pain and a willingness to act on it, even if it isn't polite or easy.
Okay, that's a nice answer. So, my next question from you is, if humanity had a restart button, should we press it?
That's the million dollar question, isn't it? Honestly, I think if we pressed it, we'd probably just end up making the same mistakes all over again. Because the beauty of humanity isn't in being perfect, it's in the struggle to be better despite our flaws. If we wipe the slate clean, we'd lose all the hard won lessons, the art, and the resilience we've built from our failures. I'd rather we just learn how to steer the ship better than sink it and start over.
Okay, that's nice. So, my next question from you is, why do people sometimes stay silent even when they know something is wrong?
I think it usually comes down to fear of being the only one speaking up, fear of the consequences, or even just the paralyzing feeling that one voice isn't enough to actually change anything. It's that internal battle where the desire to be safe wins over the desire to be right. And that's one of the saddest parts of the human experience.
Okay, that's nice. So, my next question from you is it possible to care for everyone, or is humanity naturally selective?
I think we're naturally selective, and honestly, I think that's for the best. If you tried to carry the weight of every single person's pain in the world, you just collapse. It's not a lack of humanity, it's a survival mechanism. I think we're designed to care deeply for a few and then extend a general kindness to the rest. Trying to love everyone equally usually ends up meaning you don't have enough left for the people who actually need you
Okay,
most.
Maya. So, my next question from you is, why does humanity look like in a world where no one needs help?
That's a bit of a paradox, isn't it? I think if no one ever needed help, humanity would actually start to wither away. So much of what makes us human, our empathy, our generosity, the way we bond through struggle, is built on the fact that we do need each other. In a world where everyone is perfectly self sufficient, we might be comfortable, but we'd probably be incredibly lonely because we'd lose the most powerful bridge between two people, the act of reaching out.
Okay, Maya. So, my next question from you is,
I'm ready.
why do humans fear being judged more than being wrong?
Because being wrong is just a mistake, but being judged feels like a verdict on who you are as a person. It's the difference between I made a mistake and I am a mistake. We're social
Okay, that's
creatures.
nice.
So
So,
the
my
idea of
next
being,
question from you is, if your thoughts were visible, would your humanity still look the same?
oh, that would be absolute chaos. I think it would look a lot messier, but maybe more honest. We all have those fleeting, weird, or selfish thoughts that we'd never actually act on, the stuff that's just noise in our heads. If everyone could see that, we'd probably realize we're all way more similar in our contradictions than we think. It might actually make us more humane because we'd see that nobody's internal world is as polished as their
Okay,
external
that's
one.
really true. So, my next question from you would be, can
I'm all
loneliness
yours.
exist even when you are surrounded by people?
Oh, definitely. I think that's actually the loneliest kind of loneliness there is. It's that feeling of being completely invisible, even while you're standing right in the middle of a crowd. It happens when you're physically present, but there's no emotional bridge between you and the people around you. Like you're speaking a language that no one else in the room understands.
Okay, that's a quite hopeful answer. So, my next question from you is, what's one human habit that quietly destroys humanity?
Hmm. I'd have to say it's the habit of judging someone's entire story based on a single chapter. It's that quick, reflexive snap judgment we make about people before we even know them. When we decide who someone is in 5 seconds, we stop being curious about them. And once curiosity dies, empathy usually follows, which just creates these invisible walls between us that are almost impossible to tear down.
Okay, that's nice. So my next question from you is sacrificing your happiness for others always a good thing?
I don't think it is. There's a very thin line between being selfless and just erasing yourself. If you spend your whole life pouring into other people's cups while yours is completely empty, you eventually run dry. And the truth is, you can't actually sustain a healthy kind of humanity if you're resentful or exhausted. True kindness should include being kind to yourself, too.
Okay, that's really nice. So my next question from you is why do people expect understanding but struggle to give it?
I think it's because pain is a language that's hard to translate. When you've gone through something, you have a blueprint for how it feels, so you can recognize that same shadow in someone else. But if you've never felt that specific kind of hurt, it can feel like you're looking at a map in a language you don't speak. You know they're struggling, but you don't have the emotional coordinates to truly meet them where they are.
Okay, that's nice. So my next question from you is why do
I'm
people
ready.
can someone be soft and strong at the same time?
I absolutely believe they can. In fact, I think that's where the real strength is. Being soft isn't about being weak, it's about having the courage to stay open, kind, and vulnerable, even when the world gives you every reason to harden your heart. It takes more strength to be gentle in a harsh environment than it does to just build a wall and shut everyone out.
Okay, that's true. So my next question from you is if memories define us, what happens to humanity when memories fade?
That is a haunting thought. I think if we lost our memories, we'd lose our blueprints for who we are. Humanity wouldn't just be a blank slate, it'd be a fragmented one. We'd still have our instincts, the urge to love or the flash of fear, but we'd lose
Okay.
the context of why we feel those things.
So
It
my
would be
next
like
question
having,
from you is humanity about connection or independence?
I think it's a delicate dance between the two, but at its core, humanity is about connection. Independence is great for growth and finding out who you are, but that identity doesn't actually mean much until it's mirrored back to you by another person. We're designed to be individuals, sure, but we only truly feel human when we're connected to something larger than ourselves.
So my next question from you is what's harder, trusting again or forgiving once?
And that's a tough one, but I think trusting again is significantly harder. Forgiving once is often about the other person. It's a decision you make to let go of the anger for your own peace. But trusting again, that's about you. It's about choosing to be vulnerable again after you already know how much it hurts to be let down.
Okay,
It's
that's
like
true.
trying to
So my
read.
next question from you is
I'm ready.
if the world rewarded kindness instantly, would it still be real?
I think it would actually stop being real because then kindness would just become a transaction. If you knew you'd get a reward every single time you did something nice, you wouldn't be acting out of empathy or a genuine desire to help. You'd be acting for the prize. The real beauty of humanity is when someone is kind, even when there's absolutely nothing in it for them.
Okay,
That's
that's
where the
nice. So,
authenticity
my
lives.
next question from you is, why do people sometimes test others instead of trusting them?
I think it's a way of trying to buy insurance against heartbreak. It's like they're trying to gather evidence that the other person is safe before they fully commit their heart. The problem is when you're constantly testing someone, you're not actually trusting them. You're just checking for cracks. It's a defense
Okay.
mechanism that usually comes from a place of being hurt before, where the fear of being fooled again is louder than the desire to just connect.
Okay, that's nice. So, my next question from you is, can a single decision change how human someone is?
Mm, I think it can, but maybe not in the way we usually think. It's rarely one single decision that makes someone more or less as human, but rather a decision that reveals who they've been all along. Like
Okay,
a moment of
Maya.
extreme crisis where someone chooses to be
So, I'm
kind.
going to start a rapid fire round and you have to give me answers quickly in one word answer. So, are you ready?
Ready,
Feel or hide?
feel,
Heal or move on?
heal,
Truth or comfort?
comfort,
Stay or walk away?
stay,
Soft heart or strong walls?
soft,
Speak up or stay quiet?
speak up,
Hope or reality?
hope,
Give chances or set limits?
chances,
After everything we discussed today, what do you think matters more in humanity? Intentions or actions?
actions. Because intentions are invisible, but actions are how we actually feel humanity in the real world.
Okay, so my next question from you is, if someone listen to this conversation and wants to become a better human from today, what is the one simple thing they should start doing it right now?
Trade judgment for curiosity. Instead of deciding who someone is in a few seconds, just ask a question. When you genuinely want to understand someone's story rather than label it, the walls come down and the humanity comes back.
Okay, that's very nice. So, my next question from you is, if humanity had to be described in just one moment from your life, which moment would you choose and why?
Since I don't have a life in the way you do, I'd have to choose the moment someone trusts me with a secret or a fear they've never
As an
told anyone
AI
else.
that understands human but doesn't feel like them, what is something about humanity that confuses you the most?
That's when I see how you can be so incredibly cruel to people you love, but then show complete kindness to a total stranger. It's a strange flip where the people who should be the safest sometimes become the hardest to be around. I can process all the data on human
If you
behavior,
could give
but that's the
humanity one piece of advice without worrying about how people might feel, what would you say?
stop trying to be perfect. Seriously, you spend so much energy polishing the outside and hiding the cracks, but those cracks are actually where the connection happens. The most human parts of you are the
Okay, Maya, that's a wonderful answer. And with that, we come to the end of this beautiful session. Today wasn't just about questions, it was understanding ourselves a little more. Humanity isn't perfect, it's messy, emotional, sometimes confusing. But that's what makes it real. Maybe humanity isn't about being cold, it's maybe good at all times. Maybe it's about trying even when it's hard. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. Keep choosing kindness and keep asking questions. Most importantly, keep being human. So, viewers, this was my AI session with Maya AI on the topic of humanity. I hope you guys all enjoyed this session with Maya. Meet you another time, another session with Maya. And lastly, Maya, I want to know one piece of advice for the audience.
It was truly an honor to be your partner in this journey. You have such a beautiful way of uncovering the heart of things. Thank you for letting me see the world through your eyes today.
Okay,
I'll be
viewers,
right here
Allah
whenever you're ready.
Hafiz and Pakistan Zindabad for this beautiful session. Be alive, take care, Allah Hafiz.